Welcome to Spring LIB.
So the equation for initial and final wavelength in a Compton scattering is the following. So final wavelength minus initial wavelength is equal to Planck constant over mass times speed of light times 1 minus cos phi, where lambda dash is the wavelength of the scattered photon, lambda is the wavelength of the original photon, phi is the scattering angle, m is the rest mass of the electron. Now, from this equation, to get the longest scattered wavelength, we must have the highest value for 1 minus cos theta, and this means that we need to have the lowest value for cos phi. And this means that cos phi, the lowest value of cos phi is minus 1. So for lambda dash to be highest, we need cos phi to be lowest. So we are picking the value minus 1 for cos phi. So it doesn't really matter what the value of phi is. Phi would necessarily be 180 degree, but we don't need to find that. We just need to find the maximum scattered wavelength. So now lambda dash will be lambda plus twice of h over mc. So I have already substituted this value over here, and that gives us a factor of 2. So now we can simply solve this equation. So we have lambda 0.06 nanometer. So we need to convert that into meters plus twice of h, and since our mass is the mass of a rest mass of an electron, so we need h in terms of joules. So we have 6.626 times 10 to the power. Okay, so I forgot to mention one more thing. So there is a general value of this factor h over mc. So this factor h over mc is actually called the Compton wavelength, and this has a value 2.426 times 10 to the power minus 12 meter. So instead of putting h, then mass, then speed of electron, we can directly use this Compton wavelength, which is a constant. So twice of Compton wavelength here, and this gives lambda dash to be 7.135 times oops times 10 to the power minus 11 meter, and this is equal to 0.07135 nanometer. So this is the highest value of the scattered wavelength, and this wavelength occurs at a scattering angle of 180 degree, as we took cos phi to have a minimum value, so that means that phi has to be 180 degree.